Morning, CJ. How you doing? Hello, Jennifer Rose. How's everything today? It's kind of odd being here by myself, but welcome in. Um, I'm just going to wait for a few more people to pop in, and we'll get started on whatever we're going to do today. I'm not even sure. It is Wednesday, isn't it? Actually, for me, it's my Monday. Today's my Monday. I have a weird schedule. Oh, thank you, Evelyn. I appreciate that. Yeah, that was a good show. That was a good show last. Well, what was it? Just Monday. So I appreciated everybody that joined us. We're going to do that again. Um, so I've been talking with Kelly and Jennifer Rose and Nancy. We're going to try to put together like we're going to try to do a live where all the hosts get together and we just open up and kind of chat with each other, chat with all of you, and just see where it goes. Hello, Cheyenne. How are you this morning? So I'm just going to give it a few more minutes. Morning, Stephanie. How are you? Welcome in. So while I'm waiting for more people to jump in, I just kind of wanted to open it up to you this morning. Does anybody have any questions about anything? Um, I love talking about just anything metaphysical. I might not have all the answers, but I definitely have opinions. Hello, Jamie Fox. How are you? Kind of caught you there for a few minutes on the Instagram live with Shelby yesterday. I know, CJ, right? We kind of bounce around just a little bit. Hello, Cornelia. Hello, Jade. How are you? I know, Jamie. What do you got? You have some free time or what's going on? I know when you finally finished up your school, it seemed like you were jumping right in and getting busy with everything. Hello, Christine. Good morning. Oh, I see, Jamie. Yeah, I can't remember where. I know with Lauren, I believe I took a class with Anthony Maraca. And then as far as Shelby, I can't remember. But you know how it is. We kind of intermingle amongst ourselves and time goes by and then we try to remember how we all meet up, but eventually we do. Oh no, Jamie. We'll have to chat offline. I'll send you some good energy. Hello, Michelle. Hi, Kathy. So I'm here by myself this morning, which is kind of odd. I'm used to having somebody to banter back and forth with, but hey, I'm good with that. Your job is to make sure I don't get out of line somehow, and it's pretty easy for me to do that. Um, so yeah, Evelyn, it's a pretty long story. I can't remember. I have it posted to my YouTube channel. I did two quick videos, but really quick, I'll talk about it. Maybe other people aren't aware of how I started, and there's a lot of similarities with people that start this journey. Usually, it's not I don't know, it usually results from trauma or some type of experience. There are some people that are very aware of the spirit world right from birth. I was definitely not one of those. But I will just summarize it really quick. From about 1997 to 2015, I just went through well, not only me and my family went through some just really crazy circumstances. I lost two of my brothers to complications from cystic fibrosis. My sister Jackie was murdered at 33. I went through kidney failure, kidney transplant. So yeah, it was just a long period of time. But what really woke me up was going through the health thing, because I didn't know, of course, if I was going to survive. So anybody that goes through any kind of health situation where your mortality is kind of in question, you start looking for answers. So that's kind of what led me on that journey. Um, Finding other mediums at the time when I was not aware I had this ability, but reading books about mediumship, reading books about the afterlife, that gave me a lot of comfort. But the culmination came after my sister was murdered. I had an experience with her, after she passed, and that kind of set me off on that path. But yeah, I do have that those videos up on my YouTube channel. And I could go into so many different aspects or directions other than what I put on those two videos in YouTube, because there were so many lessons throughout that period, just about life and your mindset on certain things. When you're going through a health crisis, it's easy to just, retreat inside yourself and kind of cut everything off. And it was a choice I had to make. It was, do I want to sit here and feel sorry for myself and just sit in this just yucky energy, or it's just how life is, and I can choose to be in the moment. And that was a big lesson for me. I guess now I'm going into a message with this, but it was profound for me with that lesson. And I made the choice to just live in the moment. I literally had to force myself to wake up each morning and kind of check in with myself and not worry about the future and where it may go. But I just had to just check in with myself that each day and just, how am I doing? And physically, I was fine. The mental battle was the hardest thing for me going through that. But again, it wasn't easy, but every day I just had to remind myself that this is all that matters. I'm here now. I feel good. And that's what I'm going to focus on. There are definitely times when that was a struggle, but it taught me a very important lesson, because we talk about that a lot, right? You hear people often say we have to live in the moment, live in the moment. And most of us just let that go in, in one ear and out the other. But for me, I really had to adapt that, because if I didn't, I mean, it would have defeated any kind of motivation I had towards improving myself. I started college. I just had to just keep focused on just living my life in the moment. Tomorrow did not matter. So it's an important lesson for everybody, and eventually I think we all come into that mindset. Something will happen sooner or later that you just like, no, I can't worry about tomorrow. I can't worry about 10 minutes from now. I can't worry about that meeting that's coming up later on at work that might not go so well. Most of the time, the outcome we have envisioned in our mind when we try to project what might happen really never happens the way we let our mind create that storyline. It just doesn't happen. So again, it's just a practice. Learn to live for right now. That's all that freaking matters. So yeah. So Evelyn, thank you for giving me something to talk about, because I think it's an important message. So thank you. And good morning, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. As you can see, I'm here by myself. Jennifer is traveling. Kelly is traveling. So I'm here by myself. Oh, hello, Tina. Oh, sorry to hear you're a little down on the weather today. Well, thank you, Tina. I appreciate that. And I'm just looking at the comments. I appreciate everybody that's here this morning. I appreciate the interaction we're having. Yeah, let's just, and I'll get into some readings here shortly too. Exactly, Mel. I'm just reading your comment there. Hello, Samantha. All right. Well, I'm just going to jump into some readings then. Today, so I brought out my Cosmic Records cards. I'm just going to see where it goes. I may jump into mediumship if I feel somebody step in. If anybody was here on Monday, Kelly and I went live, and I definitely want to do that type format more often where we invite people to join us on air, especially for mediumship, because it just helps. It helps me particularly with the connection when I can hear somebody's voice and we can kind of have that dialogue back and forth. It's just so much more efficient, and we can get through the messages rather quickly, which helps. And if you didn't catch Monday's show with Kelly, we just kind of did an impromptu show. If you'd like to see what that was like, you can go back and watch it. It should be on my Facebook page. It just gives you an idea of what it's like when we actually talk to each other and we bring people up. And I want to thank the people that that joined us and were vulnerable, because it's kind of like an open book when you, I should say it's brave when you come up and you join us on air, but I think it was very empowering because it just gives people an idea, of what a mediumship session can be. Because I know a lot of these lives, we do it through the comments, and that really doesn't give you the full picture, because I know I've been on the receiving end of a reading when you're trying to type the comments to reply. And really, as the sitter, it's hard to convey the emotion that's attached with the messages and to convey, the feedback when you're just trying to type really quickly and you only have so much time to do it. So it just gives you a broader understanding of how a mediumship session what it looks like. All right, I'm going to jump into some messages. Christine, are you still there? Christine Tanner. I feel like I need to pull a card for you. And again, if you're new to these lives, holy crap, Nikki Nicole, how have you been up there in Canada, eh? It's been a long time. Hello, Christine. So let's see what I got for you this morning. Oh, Ava, good morning. Okay, what I was getting ready to say, so if you've never seen these lives before, so I don't go in any particular order. I just kind of go off the comments. What I do is I just scroll. So if you've commented, you wanted a card, you don't have to repeat the comment over and over. I'll go back to the comment and I'll go to who I'm drawn to. Just keep in mind that there's only so much time and I can only get to so many people. So let's see, Christine. Let's see. So Christine, while I'm shuffling, before a card even comes out, I feel like I need to talk about patience, which is most people's nemesis, right? But I just feel like patience is important right now. Let me see if I can give you some more context. I know from seeing you live and you talk about the direction you're going into with not only your spiritual work, but also your business work. I just feel it's like important to just make sure that you're the old cliche, dotting the I's, crossing the T's, and make sure you're very articulate when you're talking with other people that you may be working with and just expressing exactly, what you're feeling, what you want, and what your vision is going forward with any work. So again, it's just taking your time and make sure that you're not in a hurry, especially if any contracts are involved or any binding contracts. Make sure that you really take the time um, to scour them. Don't be in a hurry. I know that's difficult. Um, so that's one thing, but here's the card that came up also. So it's the Divine Feminine. Um, and it's basically the message is just embrace your softness and strength to become whole. Um, a lion doesn't have to tell the world that it's a lion. It sees it. It knows. So it's one of those that how sometimes it's difficult for me to express what I'm feeling into words, but I don't know. Does that make sense? You don't have to shout out who you are, and you don't have to profess who you are. It's sometimes better to remain quiet and just do your work and let your work express itself. So hopefully that makes sense, Christine. Good morning, Jennifer S. Lee, psychic medium. All right, let me go back here. Complete sense. I've been feeling this. Good, Christine. I'm glad that makes sense. And one of these days, I am going to jump on TikTok. I am so just ADD. I have to be in the right mood to get on TikTok. I don't know what it is about that platform. I've tried to plan lives over there, but it's kind of like when I plan them out and then I go to do it, I'm just like, I just don't feel like it. It's kind of like one of those, I just have to be like in the moment and just feel like, yeah, I'm going to go on TikTok. But maybe I'll try to change my ways and plan one out. CJ, let me pull a card for you. Morning, Aaron. How are you? Yes, Christine, definitely. All right, so let me write your name down, CJ, before I get lost in the comments and forget who I'm reading. So for you, CJ, the have faith card pulled out. So I'm going to feel into this. So sometimes I will read what the author assigned to this card, but then I like to feel into it and see if there's anything that I'm feeling when I connect it to your. All right, I'm not even going to read the card because as soon as I connect with your energy, I just get this feeling of I feel I need to say, don't lose hope. CJ, this might be personal, but are you going through, ups and downs? Like, I don't want to call it depression because I just feel like, just like the card said in a way that you've lost hope somewhere. And I just feel it's almost like this searching for my purpose. What am I supposed to be doing right now? And I just feel it's like, this is going to seem this may contradict, but with that feeling I'm getting, it's almost a reminder that that's a good thing because it's your guides, your soul telling you to step back, take a breath, and almost like reevaluate and kind of try to put things in perspective. Um, and I don't predict the future, but I just feel it's like in the quiet times, that's when these answers are going to come to you. I just feel it's like you've lost your personality in a way. Like you're so immersed in like everyday living that you've kind of lost, and you need to be reminded of who you are as a person. Does that make sense? Um, this is going to sound so cliche, but it's like I feel I need to tell you you need to go outside. And this is going to go for everybody. I think everybody knows this already, but when you're outside away from the noise, you can almost feel that shift in your energy, right? But CJ, I think that's important for you right now. It's like you got to find yourself again, and I feel that's going to happen in nature. You got to learn to play again as well. Are you into music? Like creating music, CJ? I don't. I just had this impulse to talk about creating music, playing an instrument. Do you do that at all? Or is that something you've wanted to do maybe in your younger day? Because I feel like I need to talk about this. CJ, I'm just going to put it out there. Find a guitar and start playing guitar. There's so much therapeutic benefits from making music. That may just be a message from your guides. I'm just going to leave it at that, CJ. But I'm just going to say, I'm sending you good energy, and everybody send some good vibes to CJ. There you go. Ukulele, whatever makes the noise, do it. Oh, sorry, CJ. And it is losing somebody in your life is one of the most difficult things we can go through, because your life will never be the same. It's mediumship. I think can heal in the way that it reminds us that we do go on, after we leave the physical world, but that's only half of it. One, you might hear somebody say, well, it heals in time. I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, because that learning to live without somebody there physically in your world is difficult. It's just that new adjustment going forward. They're always going to be a part of your life, and it's kind of like every day we got to learn to live again. But just knowing that we're going to see each other again. All right, let me see where I'm going here. Go back to the comments. CJ, I just got to go into this. So with your friend that you lost, I wasn't going to connect, but I'm this friend of yours, did he have tattoos? There's something I need to talk about with the tattoos. And I'm just feeling a huge presence with this person. When he steps into my awareness, I'm just like, he's like one of those people that changes completely changes the environment in a room. Does that make sense? And also, CJ, would he have served in the military or some type of services? I'm getting this. So when I see a reference to military, it can literally be military, or it could be like serving the community in either like volunteer status, like fire, rescue, police, military. So he did serve. Okay. Um, so he gives me this feeling, CJ, that he made the decision or choice to leave the physical world. Um, but the feeling I get, and again, you can just be honest, it may not fit, but what I'm feeling is it's almost like either stopping treatment or refusing treatment in that aspect. But I feel like he made the choice. There was a choice that was made. And I need to talk about, I'll wait for you to reply because I don't want to, again, I know it's difficult in the comments to reply. So I don't want to overload. Okay. He had med that he had a problem. Okay. And I'm also hearing the name Bill. Would you understand Bill? It may not be connected to him. Sometimes I get names, and if I hear them, I'm going to talk about it. So Bill could either be your friend or somebody here in the living that he may be referring to, or it may not make sense at all. So CJ, I know this may be personal, but I got a strong pull to talk about. He had an Uncle Bill. Okay, was there something with like schizophrenia or something to that effect, that disorder? Because that's what I just felt. It's like I have to talk about like a chemical imbalance in the mind, which can fall under, I know, okay, yes, okay. He's just making me feel that he wanted to be normal like everybody else. Because you brought up the medication, but that's the feeling you get is like they made him feel like different. Um, he didn't like the effect of the medication. So he's making me feel like it's not that I forgot to take them. It's like he just didn't like the side effect of taking them. Um, he also makes me feel that he was a practical joker. Because literally, and this is a guy thing, but he would walk up behind you and like make a fart noise and like wave it, and blame you for it. But I just feel like that's the type person. At least that's the personality I'm getting right now from him. Um, he definitely does not want sympathy. He's like, no, you can find sympathy between shit and syphilis in the dictionary. So I don't want sympathy. Um, he is making me feel that he's very appreciative. He is making me feel like he made a difference in this world. It's what he's making me feel as well is like influencing children. Like he would go out of his way to maybe intervene with somebody that may not have a fatherly figure, if you will. But I just feel it's like that was his nature, like to give people inspiration. Okay, okay. So, and he wants me to talk about, I need to talk about the month of March, and you may or may not be aware of dates. I know I cannot remember my own birthday half the time, but I need to bring up March, but I feel this is more of an anniversary of some event. So if you're not familiar with that, that's fine. I'll just leave it there. But he literally just showed me the peace sign, and he wants you to know, and he wants everybody to know that he is good. He is good. One more thing, CJ, because he wants me to talk to you about this specifically, is like, it's almost like what your card and what I talked to you about. He is saying, don't be afraid to reach out for help. He's like, you're spending way too much time by yourself. And he's like, that's not good for you. So again, he just wants you to know he's at peace and he's looking out for you just like he did for everybody when he was here in the physical. So thanks, CJ, for being open. All right. Okay. So everybody send some good vibes to CJ. You're welcome, CJ. All right. Let's see. So everybody just join in. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You may have noticed I'm here by myself, and I'm trying to keep myself out of trouble because usually Jennifer's here to rein me in, but I'm all by myself. So now everybody in this chat has the responsibility of making sure I behave myself. Good morning, Debbie Romero. How are you? Debbie, I want to pull a card for you, Debbie, because you're always so nice. Every time I pop on to any show that you're on, whether it's TikTok or Facebook or YouTube, you always take the time to pull a card or give me a message. So I want to return that favor. Let's see, Debbie, what do I got? What do I have for you this morning? So Debbie, I know you're busy. And before even a card comes out, it's like the message I feel I need to talk to you about. You're at a point now, because you've been doing this work for so long, that it's almost, when we first begin this journey, we say yes to everything, right? If somebody invites us on a podcast, it's like, yes, any chance to get ourselves out there, and to, broaden our presence on social media, we do it. But I feel it's like you're at the point right now where it's like you have to have discretion and discernment. We all appreciate being, somebody sending us an invitation, but we got to be careful to keep that work-life balance. And I feel like maybe you're at that point right now where you're trying to balance that. So I just feel it's like a reminder to, again, yes, be appreciative that people are reaching out to you. But again, it's like sometimes we have to say no, unfortunately. But I want to pull you a card. Is your birthday coming up? I just heard your mother step forward and say happy birthday. So either your birthday or somebody in the family. And when I it's her birth. Today is her birthday? Oh, coming up. Okay. Let's see, Debbie. I'm still shuffling for you, so I want to pull you a card, though. So, Debbie, she's showing. I wasn't intending to get too deep in the mediumship today, but you know how it is. I just follow along. So I already, just for a disclaimer, I know Debbie very well. I know her mom has passed. And her mother was a very, very sweet person. Very sweet person. Debbie, she's holding a necklace. and I don't wanna let my mind go too deep into this, but she's showing me a necklace, so do you understand, would you be holding her necklace? Or is there something about the necklace that would be significant right now? You have her necklace, okay. Did it break? Is there something that needs to be repaired on it? I just feel like I need to talk about something that needs repair. And you know me, if it doesn't fit, you can tell me no. That's just what I feel about it. I was leaving Vegas and I couldn't find it. Okay. I'm just gonna go with this message, Debbie. She's just like saying, "You're such a." She's saying, "You're such a good girl. You're such a good girl." Um, she's saying, "Don't let negative comments. Don't even spend 1 second." So something broke. Okay, but she's just saying, like, don't let negative comments affect you. You keep doing what you're doing. You're reaching so many people, and you're doing such a great thing by just putting yourself out there, even though at times it can be very uncomfortable for you. I don't know if this makes sense, but she's just like, don't let those comments affect you. Debbie, I'm not even going to pull a card because I feel that's the message. You understand. Okay. So I'm sending you good vibes, Debbie. One of these days we need to do a live together again. It's been a while. All right. Let me just scroll through the comments and see. Tina Godin, I want to pull a card from you or for you. Um, so naturally, Tina, when I call your name, and Kathy's here, because why wouldn't she be, right? um, so Tina, I just want to go into this because this is what she's making me feel. It's almost like, again, I know you very well. So I know you have career and I know you do the spiritual thing on the side. And Kathy's give me this feeling like you don't have to choose between the two. It's like, let them just work together. It's like this pressure that you're putting on yourself that I have my career that's important to me, and I have my spiritual side that's also important to me. But she's giving this feeling like stop having this feeling that you have to choose between the two. You can do both. Does that make any sense, Tina? I want to stop and give you a second to reply. Yes. Okay. Okay. She wants me to talk about the 15th of the month. This must be birthday month or birthday wishes today. Is there a birthday on the 15th of a month? I'm trying to, I'm letting my mind get into the middle of this, but she's bringing up the December 15th. Is there something about December 15th that you would understand? So Tina, naturally, she wants to talk about like her work, and what she was heavily involved in, but we both know that it's probably not a good thing to talk about on here. I hope you know what I'm saying or referring to, because she's bringing that up too, and she's she's just making me laugh. Um, okay, December birthday. Okay, did you also? This has been brought up before, or at least this sounds familiar. So, at your new home, I know there's a memorial there because this feels familiar that you set up a memorial in your yard for Kathy, but she wants me to talk about the flowers. In my mind, I'm seeing new flowers or flowers being either planted there, brought there. There's something about new flowers. This doesn't have to be like recently, like today, but she's acknowledging flowers being placed there. And it's okay if it doesn't make sense. You know me. You can just say, nope, doesn't make sense. Thank you, Jennifer Rose. I appreciate that. Oh, okay. So out of nowhere by her memorial or her, okay, because she wants me to talk about the flowers at that space. So she's like, ta-da. So Tina, I'm gonna leave you with that. Obviously, you know she's around. um, and again, she just wants you to remind you to just laugh. It's like she's almost giving me the feeling like when she was here, she took things way too serious at times. And it's kind of, I don't want to say the word regret because it's not a regret, but she just wishes that she maybe would not have spent too much time getting deep in the weeds about things. So just a reminder to just laugh things off. The old cliche, right? Don't take life too serious. Nobody gets out alive. So that's from Aunt Kathy, and I'm glad you're here this morning. I'm glad because we both, yeah. When Kathy came into the lives, it was just like the energy just immediately shifted when she was here. So we miss Kathy. Jennifer S. Lee, will I see Bigfoot in Oregon? You may see something. It might not be Bigfoot. Eva, can I pull a card for you? And good morning, everybody. If you're just joining in or just tuning in, welcome in. So Ava, thank you, Nikki. Eva, let's see what's for you this morning. So as I'm shuffling, Ava, I feel it's like a reminder to just step back and take a moment for yourself and rest. That's just initially what I'm feeling when I connect with your energy while I shuffle. And is your father still in the living or is he passed? Because I just feel I need to talk about father either being on your mind or is there something about your dad that you've been thinking about lately? So I just feel like I need to talk about dad. Yes, and in dementia. Okay, so he's going through dementia right now, or has dementia. Because I just feel like I needed to talk about Dad, and it was kind of a weird connection because I didn't feel it was I could not place if he was here or there, so it's kind of like that in between. Is maybe that's what I'm still learning as I go along, and sometimes when I have connected to people that are going through that with a family member, it's kind of that feeling. It's like we're caught in between. Um, but I just feel like I need to say, make sure you're taking time for yourself. Maybe that's why that came up initially, that you needed to step back and you need to take care of yourself and you need to refresh. Because if you don't have the energy, you can't just give from an empty well. Okay. It's important not to feel guilty about that too. Remember, you have to take care of yourself first. And interesting, because this card just came out and it's listen. And I'm not going to read what the description is, but I just feel it's like you have to listen to your own heart, your soul, your guides. If you're feeling that at times, to like take a break, just don't ignore that. Okay, good. Maybe that's just the reminder you needed to hear today with this message. And I know these are quick, but that's just what I felt for you. It's just a reminder. Self-care. It's not selfish. It's important. So sending you good vibes, Eva. Everybody send some hearts to Eva. And thank you for being here. I know it's late over there. I'm not sure. I can never remember if it's late or early. Hello, Colin. Welcome in. Hello, Jamie Barrington. How are you? So, Jamie, let me see. So I don't predict future, but let me just kind of is that Monique Rose? Hello, Monique. How are you? Jamie, let me go back to your comment and just I want to kind of So, Jamie, what I'm feeling for you is it's almost a similar message that came out earlier. Take your time and really think about what you want and where you want to go. I just feel it's like, don't take the first thing that pops up, like the first thing that is either offered to you or that you find with whether it's a new career, a new avenue in your spiritual work. It's almost a time that I feel you really need to reflect on what you really want going forward. So I don't know if that's a decision you're having to make right now. I feel I need to talk about that. Is it a decision between, yes, we have to have this, sometimes we have to have this, a job because we exist in the physical world and we need resources. And then we have our spiritual business. And it's almost the same message that I think I had for Tina. It's, we have to be practical sometimes, unfortunately. But are you having to make that decision right now? Mel, 4:50 a.m. Oh my goodness. So you're either up late or you're up early. So that makes sense, Jamie. Okay. So again, this is kind of strange that the same message is coming out, but it's like we can do both. Um, Sometimes my guides will come in and they'll kind of want me to share my experience with this. 'Cause I've been through the same thing several times where I've quit my career to try to do this full time, and then I quickly find that something's not right, right? There's just not a balance there for me. It caused me way too much it put too much pressure on me to have to do this work. And then when I go back to doing a job, there's my balance. And I'm a slow learner. I've had to take this step like several times. And I think it's just important to not stress yourself out and just trying to find a way for both of those avenues to coexist. Yeah, listen to what you're feeling as well. But again, you don't have to quit doing the spirit side, and you don't have to, you know, stop working a 9 to 5 job as well. So for you, I just feel it's like just it's almost like the ultimate surrender. Just let it go. Let it go. Let it be what it'll be. And sometimes when we let go of doing the spiritual work for a little bit, it's almost a refreshing feeling when you do step back into it. Like somehow you've grown in a way. So don't be afraid to step aside as well. So hopefully that makes sense, Jamie. And so glad to see you on here. It's been a while. All right. So let me just work through the comments here. Yeah, Jamie, if you're feeling it, then if you feel the need to relocate, then and follow. You know, I wish I could tell you. I wish Spirit would tell us sometimes to what the direction, but that's not their place. You know, it's just we have to follow our gut. So if you're feeling that need to relocate, just feel into it and take your time and just have patience and see where it leads you. I've had that same thing. I still ask myself sometimes, why am I still in North Dakota? But here I am. Yeah, Monique, right? It's just sometimes we have to do that. Deanna, I'm going to pull a card for you. I just saw your name pop up. So, Deanna, if you're still here, I'm going to pull a card for you. You're welcome, Jamie. So, Deanna, let's see what we got for you. I need to talk about finances, which is something I don't normally do or bring up. But Deanna, as soon as I connect with your energy, I feel like I need to talk about finances. It's almost like the feeling like go back and look at your budget closely. I don't know. Is that something you're stressing about right now, Deanna? And I'm going to pull a card as well, but that's just something I felt like as soon as I connected with your energy, I felt like the stress of finances. Thank you, Jamie. Okay. Again, I just feel it's like I just feel like I need to, when I say I, sometimes I refer first person. I don't know why, but I just feel it's like you need to go back and reevaluate your budget. But I don't make predictions, but I feel like I need to say it's going to change. there's something about this month that I feel a change for the positive coming. Again, don't hold me to that. And it's rare that I even talk about this, but there must be a reason. And I just feel like this month at some point, I feel it's later towards the end of this month, that things are going to kind of change for you in the positive. And I did pull a card for you, so it's the Key. Let me just feel into this card though and see what I have for you. So this is a different message that's coming with this card, but I feel it's like I need to talk about a conflict that you may have had with either a family member or a close friend. And it's almost like we have to remind ourselves sometimes to park our pride to save a friendship or a relationship, because we can all be bullheaded, right? But I just feel it's a time that, hey, wave the olive branch and kind of talk it over. Don't let it just fester, whatever this difficulty is with this relationship. The feeling I get is almost like this time, I don't know if you're stubborn like I am, but this time is like, let it go and just be the bigger person and just like, okay, this was silly, and just be the bigger person. I'll leave it at that. Hopefully that makes sense in some way. So I am getting close. Well, I am at the end of my hour. So a couple things. I'm going to pull a card for the collective and have a message for everybody. Right on. Okay, Deanna. Just sending you good vibes. Hopefully everything works out. Yeah, I'm definitely one of those people that, I could argue with you for 20 minutes knowing that I was wrong from the beginning, but I will not let it go. All right. So first, while I was shuffling for a collective message, I want to say thank you to everybody for joining me this morning. I appreciate you being here. Quite a big crowd in here, and I appreciate that. Hopefully everybody got something out of the messages that came. A lot of the times, even though I'm specifically talking to somebody in the chat, the message will resonate with you as well. Don't pass that off as a coincidence. If the message spoke to you, take it. All right, so I'm going to pull one card. This is going to be for everybody because I do have to end the live because I'm still in the muggle world and I still need to go to work in a little while. So let's see what the collective has. Oh, interesting. So the card that came up is Let Go. Let me just feel into this. So what I'm feeling is, just like the card says, let go. Holding on to grudges, holding on to just that crappy energy that keeps anchoring us to a certain point in our past is doing you absolutely no good. There's nothing you can do about things that have been done, right? We're in the present. And it's interesting that if you weren't here in the beginning of a live, I kind of talked about that and how I had to reformulate how I lived my life when I was going through my health situation, where I had to really focus on living in the moment. I could not allow myself to worry about the future. So this is kind of like reminding us that living in regret does us absolutely nothing but make us feel shitty. So it's like either fix the wrong that's been done if you can, reach out to that person maybe that you've had a disagreement with, or let it go. But it's a reminder to just stop carrying the anchors with you. Cut those cords, cut the chains, and let it go. So hopefully that made sense. It was a kind of a short one, but that's what I kind of want to leave you with today. So again, thank you everybody for tuning in this morning. If you're new to the network, please give the network a follow. Sacred Spiral Network. There's so many different shows on this network. You can go to the website and it will give you the schedule of all the different shows. But this network is a great resource with so many different people, so many different practitioners and modalities. It's just an awesome place to be, because for one, there's a lot of us that feel isolated in our woo-woo journeys, if you will. We can't talk to friends. We can't talk to family about things that we believe. This network and this group of people provides that space. And it's important for some people that are just maybe starting out this journey, because it can be very isolating. I'm sure anybody that is doing this work can attest to that. The beginning is you're trying to find out who you are and where you fit in. And, thank goodness for resources like this, because this is a place for everybody to gather and talk about our crazy world. So there you go. I want to say good day, and we will see you next week I think we're on Tuesday next week. I will post about that. I know it kind of bounces around for Jennifer and I's show, but I believe it's Tuesday next week. I will post a reminder. So again, thank you everybody for joining me this morning. I appreciate everybody being here. Have a good one. We'll see you soon.